you're talking to a group of probably rehabbers and builders right now. At the end of this call, we're going to
Hmm.
give your contact information to everybody so they can reach out to you. But if somebody's going to reach out to you
Okay.
or any other lender and they wanted to appeal to working to you, they wanted to present themselves as positively as possible, to give you as much confidence as possible, what would you recommend for them? What advice would you give them? What are you looking for as a lender?
So as a person who works for a lender, I'm really just going to have a conversation with you and say, okay, what are you trying to, at the end of the day, what are you trying to accomplish, right? Are
Mhm.
we rehabbing? Are we building? What's the sales price? Do you already own the lot? And so I'm going to ask you questions just to help me in my brain then figure out how can I help you? Can I help you with a loan that I can do, or can I not help you and maybe I can refer you to someone that I know and trust that I think can help you, right?
Hmm.
So initially, it's really just more of a conversation so that I can get more information about you, what you're trying to do, so that I can see if I can help you.
Got it.
But in that conversation, important things that people in this audience would need to know, I'm asking, have you already bought the property? Or so is it a refinance or is it a purchase? What's your credit score? What's your experience level? Right now I'm talking to more and more people about new construction. They have a double lot, they split off, and they're going to build a house on that second lot. They've been sitting on this lot they've owned that they bought for super cheap, and they've been sitting on it for 5, 7 years, and now they're ready to build a house. So a lot of things I'm going to ask: experience level, credit score, how much money do you have in the bank for either down payment, reserves, things like that. I just want to see, do you have the wherewithal to go start this project and the project to be successful, or you to be successful at the project, right? So for example, if you spend every last dime on down payment and you don't have anything for reserves, that's a problem for us, because if you get into that renovation project and you now have unforeseen expenses, which happens all the time, right? How are you going to handle that? How are you going to make that monthly interest only payment each month and take care of your carrying cost if you spent every last dime? If you don't, what it means is then that project sits. And you and I both know the longer a project sits, the more likely it is to fail, right? So the underwriting guidelines that we have really do, it's kind of like having a teenager. It's for your own good. It really does set you up to be successful, not to fail, right? We want you to succeed. We want you to do a good job, pay off the loan, and let's go do another one, right? One thing I would say lately, I noticed I'm getting a lot more new construction questions. I was saying that there's a lot of people who want to get into new construction, which TRP is perfect to help them. They want to get into new construction, but they've never built a new house before.
I was going to ask
And
that.
building a new house
Hmm.
is very different than rehabbing a house, right? And so we have a guideline that says we'll let you build with zero experience. You could never have built one before, but we're going to make sure you go hire a general contractor who has built them so that you have that experience on the lot with you, even if it doesn't come from yourself. But we're not going to let you build a 4 unit. We're not going to let you build three at a time if you've never done this before, right? And some people call and they get really frustrated with me, like, well, I don't understand. I think I can do it. Okay, but you haven't done it yet. So it does make a difference.
Yeah. Well, I tell people all the time, and always put yourself in the lender's shoes. And one of the best things
Yeah.
I ever did
Yeah.
actually is I took a class about being a lender because one day I want to be a lender, and hopefully sooner than later, but
Right.
we're going to see where things go. But regardless of that, going through that class, even though, and by the way, this is after 7 years of rehabbing and building and working with lenders, but something about really putting myself in those shoes made me approach it
Hmm.
even differently. And I've always approached lenders, I think, in a really good way. But it is just blanket advice for anybody who's trying to work with lenders.
Right.
Try to learn their side of the business. Know what LTV is, know
How
what
do they think
LTC
of
is.
everything?
That's
Yep.
right.
Yep.
Right.
Where are
Um,
they coming from? Why do they care? Why does she keep asking me for my bank statement? Well, because I want to make sure you have enough funds to be successful, right? Well, why do they care about credit? Because a lot of hard money private money lenders don't care about credit score, right? Well, why does she care about credit score? Because your credit score is a reflection of, do you pay your bills on time?
yeah.
Bluntly put, right? Do you pay your bills on time? If you don't pay your bills on time, why are you going to pay me on time? Right. So, it's all for a reason. It's not because we enjoy getting paperwork. I don't. There's a reason why we ask for what we ask for.
Well, you got to think credit score. You got to be careful of blanket statements anyway when people give advice. Like, um, you don't need good credit to get one of these hard money loans, right? That's what you hear. That's the
Right.
blanket advice.
Right.
But what if you're going to uh, refinance this, right?
What if you're going to keep the house?
That's right. And people don't think like the nothing. You got to be aware of all these nuances, I guess is my point. And people don't
Right.
think about that. And now that we're talking about lending, I'm like, we need another 30 minutes, but we don't. Let me ask you random rapid fire questions. These are off the cuff. So
Sure,
if
go
I
for
run
it.
out, I am sorry. And let's see how this goes. Okay. Is credit
This
important?
will be fun. Go for it.
And let's
Oh,
try to keep the
absolutely.
answers pretty quick, I guess,
Yeah,
rapid
go
fire,
for it.
right? Is credit important?
Absolutely.
Do you need money to get into the business? This might be more complicated, but
I would say preferably yes. I mean, can you do it? You leveraging hard money and private money lending? Yes. But have higher odds of success if you have some of your own funds.
what's the best way to get into the business?
I would say I tried a YouTube page and it only is but so successful. But on my YouTube page, which you said we're going to give my contact information, I've got a few videos, and a lot of my videos were for newbies, right? People just getting in. So like one of them is Cash is King. I forget what the other one is. I'm sorry. Ask me the question again. Oh, newbies getting into it. So one of them that I talk about is flip first, right? So if you have limited money, which I mean, none of us have won the lottery, or else we're probably not listening to this call, but flipping first, right? So maybe what you do is you flip your first 2 or 3 properties to build up your bucket of cash, right? So if you start out with $50,000, which is a good kind of magic number, right? If you start out with $50,000, and you wanted to do this full time, you wanted to quit your W-2 job and do this full time, that 50,000 really needs to grow to 80 or 70 or 60 or whatever it is, right? So if you flip your first 2 or 3, you refill that bucket and you build the bucket up, then you've got more of a safety net for when you do decide to keep a property. Because remember, when you're keeping a property, you might be able to pull cash out at the refi, but you're not going to get 100% of what the property is worth, right? So one of my videos talks about flipping first. So maybe you end up flipping 2 or 3 different properties. You build up your bucket higher and higher, and then you cherry pick. Like, I want to keep this one. I really would never keep that one. I really want to keep this one. So then you can kind of pick and choose which ones you keep if you even decide you want to keep. Some people never want to be a landlord, and that's okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And to be honest, I've always been one of those people who landlording has never appealed to me, even though it's a great way to build wealth. So it just
Right.
that could look a
Yep.
little different for different people. You're just holding a few
Yep.
houses, really good assets that you don't have to worry about for
Yep.
long periods of time, right? Number one
Yep. Or
thing,
you hire a good property manager.
true, yeah. Number one thing people should look at in the economy going forward for the next 6 months, year. What's the number one marker?
Wow, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Everyone's talking about recession. And again, that is something that causes fear, and it's a reactive thing, right? Which is why the media talks about it. It's reactive. And so a lot of people have concerns and fear about that, which is 100% valid, right? When we have a recession, are you going to lose your job? Is it going to be, and there's a lot of things that go with recession, and it worries people, right? The economy slows down. One thing though, I will say, silver lining you mentioned before, in our world, in our, community here, recession is not necessarily a bad thing. If it slows down the economy, it might give you opportunity to pick up some houses that you otherwise wouldn't pick up, right? We are not going to see an onslaught of foreclosures like in '08 and 10. The world is just a different place. There's different precautions in place now that will prevent that from happening again, but it still will probably present itself with opportunity to pick up some houses, and it tends to also lower mortgage interest rates. So a recession for the overall economy is not good, but for us as real estate investors, might not be a bad thing.
That is so important. And for what it's worth, I agree. I think we're on a call. I think it was our last call, not this one, this week, but last month. And everybody, we were talking about recession. Are we in a recession? Are we not? That could be a rapid fire question. Yes or no answer. Are we in a?
I think we are.
Okay.
I think we have been since last fall. But again, data lags, so you have
Right.
to wait for the data to define it. But it feels like we have been, right?
But recessions come with typically lowering interest rates, right? We talk about that too.
Mm-hmm.
Last
Yep.
rapid fire question. I gotta wrap this up. We could talk forever, Linda. You know that. Last rapid fire question. 6 months from now, what are interest rates? It's just a guess. I know
Oh, that's a
it's a
really
guess.
tough one.
Yeah.
I mean, so first of all, we have to date today. What's today's date? Today is May
May
15th,
15th.
right?
So let's say
Okay. So
December,
6 months
December
from now,
2025.
yeah. You know, all the economists that are smarter than I'm not an economist, so people that are smarter than me that deal in the economy, they say that the Fed is going to lower rates anywhere from 50 basis points on up. The Fed is probably not going to lower it 50 basis points at one time, right? So it most likely will be 25 basis points one month, and they might pause for a month and lower it again. So according to the experts, between mid-year to end of year, we should see rates go down. Um, I personally think they're only going to go down, but so much. So we are not going to see 3% mortgage rates again, 4%. I don't think we're going to see 5. I mean, maybe as an owner occupant, you get in the high 5. Right now, I would say DSCR rates are anywhere from high 6s on up. Depends on your credit score, your DSCR calculation, and your LTV. So I would say we should see some improvement in mortgage rates, but I don't want you guys to say, oh, I'm just going to sit on the sideline and wait because rates are going to go down so much. I don't think they're going down so much.
If there's anything I think viewers can take away from this call, or I hope they take away, is never sit
Mm-hmm.
on the sidelines, right? With,
Yeah.
and
You're
I think
wasting your time and money. Yep.
that's right. Never sit, never wait for a better time. Now's a better time. What's that saying? The best time to
Mm-hmm.
buy is now. The best time to buy was yesterday. The second best time to buy is
Yep.
now, right?
Is now. That's right. Yep.
Lindy, where
So
can
again,
people,
if your numbers work,
sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
if your numbers work, it's a good deal. Yeah, yeah. If your numbers work, it's a good deal. Where can they reach me? Well, Lindy Loans, right?
Yep.
My girlfriend made my T-shirt for me.
I love
So
that.
if we, thank you. Thanks, Amanda. So if anything Lindy Loans, so Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, it's all Lindy Loans. We certainly can put my QR code and my information at the end of this if you want to.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll put it in the description. Is that what you mean? Yeah, we'll
Okay,
put it in the
awesome. Yeah, yeah,
description.
perfect. Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, that's about it. You know what, Lindy? I decided we'll probably split this into two parts because we just have so much to talk about. So it's even better. First part will be
Whatever makes
economic.
you happy.
Yeah, and that way, I don't feel like I have to just keep wrapping us up because I know that people want to just kind of watch faster videos, but now we're giving you two videos. And if you look at it that way, it's four videos. Anyway, guys, we are a mess. Lindy, thank you so much.
Two for the price of one. You are welcome. You're
Oh,
awesome.
and
Thank you.
just one last note too. How many times am I going to say that? Um, Lindy is a TRP captain with the Rehabbers Playbook. So just announcing that to the world. Yep, that's right. We're giving all of our captains capes and our captains of finance, which are you and Jason, you get a cape with a big dollar sign on the back of it. So
Oh,
yeah, and
okay.
I expect you to
All
wear it
right.
to every
And it was a
economic update.
saber. The other day I think you were trying to think of the word saber, like a sword kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So if
But
we get
that's
a
because
cape
you
and
call
then we
me the
have a
supreme leader and I need a crown and a chair. Yeah.
that's right.
And a saber.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yep.
All right. Like I said, we're
That's
a
right.
mess. We're going to sign off. Lindy, I appreciate you so much.
Bye
Thank you
guys.
for all you do.
Thank you.
And yeah, we'll chat soon.